Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Monday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. Getting into the news tonight, Association of Local Authorities President Samuel O. Amasep says local authorities in Namibia can learn governance practices from sister local authorities in Jiangsu Province, China. The Chinese embassy in Namibia is currently hosting Jiangsu Province Vice Governor Ma Jin, who is in the country. Let's take a look.
Reforms and strategic planning is a winning philosophy for effective and efficient service delivery.
推动改革和进行战略规划是实现有效并高效的服务的必胜之道。
Therefore, we are excited to be invited by Chinese Embassy to China to explore opportunities for partnerships, agreements, and sharing of international best practices at local level for the benefit of all our people.
In our next story, various types of drugs worth more than $2 million were seized last month, while police arrested 131 suspects in connection with drug-related matters. Of these, 118 suspects are Namibians, while 10 are Angolan nationals, 2 Zambians, and 1 Tanzanian were also arrested. Now, according to the drug seizure and arrest report issued for the month, worth of $2.16 million was seized. This included 207,434 kilograms of cannabis valued at more than 207 million Namibian dollars, 642 full Mandrex tablets to the value of 77,040 Namibian dollars, and 124 Namibian dollars crack cocaine units to the value of 12,400 Namibian dollars. Now, according to data from the World Drug Report 2023, drug use continues to be prevalent worldwide, with cannabis still the most used drug. The data indicated that more than 2.6 million kilograms of cannabis were seized in Namibia during 2021. In addition, 2,743 kilograms of mephedrone, a mix between speed, ecstasy, and cocaine, were confiscated, while 740 units of crack cocaine, 937 grams of cocaine hydrochloride, 41 units of LSD, 400 grams of magic mushrooms, and other sedative drugs were also seized. According to the report, globally, over 296 million people used drugs in 2021, an increase of 23% compared to the previous decade. Meanwhile, the number of people who suffer from drug use disorders has skyrocketed to 39.5 million, a 45% increase over 10 years. Cannabis continues to be the most used drug with an estimated 219 million users, which was 4.3% of the global adult population in 2021. Otapi Town Council over the weekend announced the completion of the construction of sewer and water services for 1.6 million Namibian dollars. The town's mayor, Selma Asino, said this stands as a testament to the council's unwavering commitment to enhancing the quality of life for residents, as the project represents a substantial investment in the infrastructure of the community. Asino said, designed to serve 55 urban, the completion of the initiative holds the promise of enriching the lives of residents by providing access to vital services and fostering overall community well-being. This investment not only addresses immediate infrastructure needs, but also sets the stage for sustainable growth and development in the years to come. The comprehensive nature of the project underscores the council's commitment to prioritizing the development of the town and ensuring that essential services are readily accessible to all residents, she said. Asino said, by investing in infrastructure that supports the needs of the community, the council aims to create an environment where residents can thrive and prosper. The Otapi Town Council Chief Executive Officer Ananias Nashilongo commented on the dedication and hard work of all involved to see the realization of this project. Ananias said the completion of the municipal infrastructure project is a testament to the collaborative efforts of the council, municipal staff, and community members. The president of the National Democratic Party, Lukhanyo Martin Lukhanyo, says that the lack of opportunities has left many young Namibians grappling to secure jobs, leading to financial instability and a poor quality of life. Lukhanyo made these remarks at a press conference over the weekend in Rundu. Lukhanyo said the youth are faced with various obstacles such as access to education, employment, and other opportunities necessary for growth. The NDP is worried and disturbed about the living situation of the Namibian youth. Interestingly enough, Namibia is a youthful country. 70% of the population is youth. The youth are the majority. They can change the political landscape of this country if they can wisely vote for NDP in the upcoming November general elections. But instead, our youth waste their time drinking alcohol and on social media beating themselves up over their rather current situation, which they can change, he said. Now, NDP is calling upon all the youth countrywide to register and get new voter cards and vote for NDP. In many countries, it's the youth who liberate their country. Why can't our youth organize themselves to rescue themselves from being homeless, jobless, landless, and hopeless? They should use NDP as a political vehicle to help them, he added. Lukhanyo further said that when voted into power, NDP promises to fight tooth and nail to stop the unmerited tendering process. This is because this process made many rich people and families richer and poor people poorer. Many of the tenders who are getting tenders are people who are well connected and affiliated with the ruling party. Therefore, the process has never been fair, honest, and transparent. This process creates a big room for people to steal, milk, loot, and corrupt the country and its natural resources. Only a few people are benefiting from the national cake, he said. On the other side of the break, we'll be tackling our entertainment news. To stay with Sunset News.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
In our entertainment news, the Voices for Choices and Rights Coalition premiered the animated short film Fatima recently in Windhoek. The film was produced by Tanzania-based Songhai. The event also included a panel discussion aimed at fostering and elevating vital conversation on enhancing services and supporting local movements. Let's take a look.
Moro, Sanibonani. Thank you once again for everybody that made the time out today to come to the Fatima TV film launch. And I suppose that Akharop has already gone through the program with everybody else. And I will just be giving a brief overview of VCRC because we are also reflecting on 4 years since the movement was started, and it intersects also with the film. So that's why we are going to give just a brief background. It's not going to be a long presentation, and then we are going to go as per the schedule the program allows. So this is the organizational overview from 2020 going into now where we are here at 2024. So VCRC started its foundation through a petition that was launched in 2020, and the petition garnered over 60,000 signatures, and this was really calling for the reform of the Abortion and Sterilization Act of 1975.
The regional governor of Karas offered words of encouragement to the learners. On the other side of the break, we tackle these in our community talk. In our community talk, Aletha Friedrichs, the regional governor of Karas, offered words of encouragement to the learners, urging them to persevere in their studies. She emphasized the significance of education and the skills it provides, highlighting how they will contribute to the region's future growth, particularly with the green hydrogen project, poised to create opportunities for these learners.
We are celebrating the achievements, the hard work, dedication, and commitment of our learners in the Karas region. Something that as a governor, all the stakeholders collectively, we are excited to bear the fruits of the inputs that was done by our educators, which is the principal, the teachers, and the Directorate of Education, collectively with all the stakeholders of education in the region. So basically what is happening here today is just to award our students that has performed exceptionally very well in the different subjects, and also those that has performed overall in all the subjects at the different schools. This is actually a very encouraging event and also an initiative that will also help those that could not meet the necessary grades to improve, because I believe there is always a space for improvement in whatever you are doing. Therefore, I'm encouraging those ones, let's study hard, let's be focused, let's be determined, and let's also be consistent in what we are doing in terms of learning very hard and spend most of your time with the books. I always say that it's both of us have a responsibility. As much as the parents has the responsibility to support their child, the child also has the responsibility to make sure to make their parents proud, because the parents invest so much in the education of their children. And those parents that are not yet that involved in the education of their children, I'm encouraging them and motivate them to play their part as a parent, so that these learners can excel and also become better people in the society that is contributing to the development of the society. And of course, for Karas region, there are new sectors that are going to be developed. We speak about green hydrogen, we speak about oil and gas, and of course we need specialized those that are having the expertise to form part in the development of those sectors. Therefore, I'm encouraging the learners as well as the parents and of course all the stakeholders. As I have alluded before in my speech, it's a collective call for all of us to play our part. That's the only way we will make sure that our learners receive the necessary knowledge, receive the necessary skills, and also that's the only way that teaching and learning will take place in classes. And of course, we develop a very responsible, knowledgeable society for our country.
According to Economic News, the Castors Energy and Partners Namibia discovery may hold 10 billion barrels. On the other side of this, we'll unpack this. Castors Energy says hydrocarbons in place at its Mopani complex alone are estimated at 10 billion barrels of oil equivalent or higher before drilling additional exploration and appraisal wells. This comes as Gulf Energia which operates a petroleum exploration license 83 with an 80% interest, while the National Petroleum Corporation holds 10% and Castos Energy, half owned by Sintana, has a 10% stake, completed the first phase of the Mopane exploration campaign with the conclusion of the Mopane 1X well testing operations. According to the Namibian Independent Oil and Gas Exploration Company, the flows achieved during the good test reached the maximum allowed limits of 14 kbopt, potentially positioning Mopane as an important commercial discovery. The successful culmination of the exploration campaign at Mopane, including a good test reaching the maximum allowable limit, further demonstrates the scope and potential of PEL 83. With the current discoveries alone containing potential over 10 billion barrels of original oil in place, Mopane is one of the largest discoveries globally, said Knowledge Kati, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Castos. The success of this exploration campaign demonstrates the opportunity this industry can bring to the people of Namibia, including, in particular, young Namibians. Castos looks forward to working with the local community to trust and ensure that this process improves livelihoods and opportunities while reducing poverty, equitability, and sustainably. We are proud and honored to lead this initiative, he said. Let's now take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.57, against the euro at 20.39, against the US dollar at 19.17. 2 Namibian dollars and 65 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all the major commodities went down, with Brent crude oil trading at 0.39%, going for $86.78 per barrel. In international news, UK's Sunak says first migrant flight to Rwanda will leave in 10 to 12 weeks. Do stick around for this story.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toivon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts, and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com, and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said earlier today the first flight carrying asylum seekers to Rwanda would leave in 10 to 12 weeks as he set out plans for his flagship policy to tackle illegal migration. Speaking at a press conference, Sunak said he will not outline the exact operational details of the plan, but said the government had made specific preparations. Under the timeline Sunak set out, the first flight would leave in July. Sunak also said he was confident that the plan complied with all of Britain's international obligations, responding to a question about its membership of the European Convention on Human Rights, but added that securing the borders would always take priority over membership of a foreign court. Let's take a look.
We are ready. Plans are in place. And these flights will go come what may. No foreign court will stop us from getting flights off. So we will not be giving away sensitive operational detail which could hinder all the progress made to date. Teams across government need to be able to get on and deliver without interference. They are working flat out to deliver this genuine game changer. The first flight will leave in 10 to 12 weeks. Now, of course, that is later than we wanted, but we have always been clear that processing will take time. But enough is enough. No more prevarication, no more delay. Parliament will sit there tonight and vote no matter how late it goes. No ifs, no buts. These flights are going to Rwanda. I can confirm that we've put an airfield on standby, booked commercial charter planes for specific slots, and we have 500 highly trained individuals ready to escort illegal migrants all the way to Rwanda, with 300 more trained in the coming weeks. And the success of this deterrent doesn't rest on one flight alone. It rests on the relentless, continual process of successfully and permanently removing people to Rwanda, with a regular rhythm of multiple flights every month over the summer and beyond until the boats are stopped. This policy, and we've now not just worked very hard to do it in a compliant way. Look, if it ever comes to a choice between our national security, securing our borders, and membership of a foreign court, I'm of course always going to prioritise our national security. That's the right thing for the British Prime Minister to do, and that's what I would do. Look, I've said what I've said about an election multiple times before. I'm working to assumption is for an election in the second half of the year. That remains the case, and also, as I said, everything I've said on the timing of this is as I've said. Now, you talked about deterrent, though. And I think that is important because, as I said, this is not just about one flight, it's about multiple flights. That's how you build a deterrent. That's what our preparatory work has been designed to deliver.
That concludes our international news. Let's take a look at the weather predictions. Katima Mulilo can expect sunny weather with a minimum of 15 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. Oshakati can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. Henties Bay can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius, while Rehoboth can also expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 17 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. We will now head over to the sports desk with Ari Hohat.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with golf news first. It's golf news from the LPGA, the Women's PGA, and it is a great achievement by Nelly Korda. She won the first major of the year on the women's calendar. That was the Chevron Championship that was played in Texas in the USA. It's Nelly Korda that won the tournament with a total of minus 13. That is for the 4 rounds, and she closed with a round of 69, beating Maja Stark of Sweden by 2 shots. She was on minus 11 in second position. Significant achievement by Nelly Korda in that she equals the LPGA record by winning a 5th tournament in a row. It was a 5th start in a row that she teed off and won the tournament, and only twice before has that happened in LPGA and women's golf. It was Annika Sorenstam that did that in 2005. Annika Sorenstam is from Sweden, and also the American Nancy 1978. And continuing international sports news with soccer news, it is the FA Cup final that has been determined, or rather the teams that play in the final have been confirmed. It is defending champions Manchester City. They're there again. They will play in the final against their rivals Manchester United. And that game will be played on the 25th of May at the Wembley Stadium in London. What happened over the weekend, just briefly, is Manchester City beat Chelsea by 1-0 in the semi-finals. And then in a dramatic game, it was Manchester United that beat Coventry on penalties 4-2. That was after the game ended 3-3. That was after normal time and extra time. And staying with football, it is English Premier League, and there will be very important games being played in midweek this week, and that is for mostly players or teams that's on top of the table. At the moment, it is Arsenal on top of the table after 33 games. They've got 74 points. Liverpool also 33 games, 74 points, and then Manchester City on 73, but they've played 1 game less. So important games this week. Firstly, on Tuesday, Arsenal at home against Chelsea, a massive game for them. Then on Wednesday, it is Liverpool Liverpool, that will play away to Everton, a very tough game for them. And then on Thursday, Manchester City, they play again, and they play against Brighton, and that will be at Brighton. So it's 3 important games that will in a big way also determine where the English Premier League will go to.
And with that, we have come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for joining us on this Monday morning. From me, Glenn Rashipura. Until next time.